All right, so move on to the next segment. I'll be sharing my Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano fight prediction. So, Katie Taylor will be defending her undisputed super lightweight titles against the unified featherweight champion and Amanda Serrano in a catchweight fight that will be taking place at 138 pounds with all the 140-pound titles being on the line. This will be in the co-main event slot of the Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight card. So, this is going to be huge, a huge fight in women's sports and combat sports. So I'll be sharing my following storylines heading into this fight. Can this rematch live up to the hype and the expectations, or could it be better than the first fight that we've seen between Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano? That first fight between Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano in Madison Square Garden was the greatest women's fight that I've ever seen in my life in combat sports. Whether you're talking about MMA and the UFC, boxing, Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano was the greatest women's boxing fight that I've ever seen in my life. The greatest boxing fight that took place in the calendar year 2022. What Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano gave us in 2022, that fight alone was one of the best fights I've actually seen in the 2020s. It's got me reminiscing right now of how spectacular, how phenomenal that fight was between Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano back then. But my thoughts on that, this is a hot take to some, but I honestly said that fight between Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano in 2022, I think that fight should have been a draw. I had it scored. I went back, watched the fight yesterday morning to get my blood flowing about talking about this fight for you guys. It was I scored it a 5-5 draw going back and watched the fight for the second, third time in my life. But I understand both sides of the argument. That fight was so close. And I understand if you had Katie Taylor winning by split decision or you had Amanda Serrano winning by split decision. But I just scored it 5-5 in favor of a draw. But it could have gone either way that night. And that's why I'm not mad about the decision 2 years to this day. And Katie Taylor escaped with a split decision victory. So I want to see if these two respective women can bring the hype back up to the women's boxing and give us a classic like they did back in 2022. Now, can Amanda Serrano become a two-time undisputed champion in the sport of boxing? Now, Amanda Serrano, if she could defeat Katie Taylor, become a two-time undisputed champion in the sport of boxing, she would join a very, very, very elite list of boxers, male or female, to become a two-time undisputed champion in two different weight classes. I'm talking about guys and gals will be future Hall of Famers of Terrence Bud Crawford, Noi Inoue, Alexander Usyk, Clarissa Shields, Katie Taylor. If Amanda Serrano could defeat Katie Taylor to become a two-time undisputed champion, her legacy is stamped forever as one of the greatest women's boxers of all time. Like it already isn't. But if she could do that, she'd become the sixth fighter in boxing history to become a two-time undisputed champion in two different weight classes. Now, this is my tail of the tape for the fight. Amanda Serrano, she has 47 victories, 2 losses, 1 draw to her resume. She has 31 victories coming away of knockout. Currently, the reigning, defending, unified featherweight champion stands at 5'5" and has a reach advantage of 65 inches. Then I'm looking at the champion, Katie Taylor. Katie Taylor has 23 victories, 1 loss to her resume. She has a total of 6 victories coming away of knockout. She's currently a two-time undisputed champion. The reigning defending super lightweight champion stands at 5'5" and has a reach advantage of 66 inches. So the height is the same for these two respective women, but their reach advantage, the small reach advantage by 1 inch, goes in favor of the champion, Katie Taylor, for this highly anticipated rematch. So these game plans I have for these respective women to follow if they want to walk out of AT&T Stadium in Dallas, Texas with those coveted undisputed titles. Now, here's the catch here. Both of these women are so elite, and there's some pound-for-pound greats. And I could sit here all day and all night with you guys to talk about what they do good and bad. So the game plans are basically based off of what happened and transpired from the first fight. So based off the film, these are the things I do believe that they could do well at, and that's what the game plan is going to be designed for. So starting off with the champion here, Katie Taylor, I think Katie Taylor's got to be on time counter-punching. Now, in the first fight between herself and Amanda Serrano, she found herself boxing off her back foot a lot during this fight, with Amanda Serrano bringing the fight towards her. Amanda Serrano, for a majority of the fight, walking her down, and Katie Taylor retreating, boxing off her back foot. I think she's going to have to, with her most likely doing that again, she's going to have to box off the back foot. I think that's going to have to open the door for Katie Taylor to win the counter-punching battle. And I think if Katie Taylor can win the counter-punching battle and set Amanda Serrano up for traps, she has a good chance of winning this fight, because she did a good job boxing off the back foot, winning the counter-punching battle, and setting up traps for Amanda Serrano. She can do that again in the rematch. She has a good chance of winning this fight. Now, Katie Taylor's got to be better defensively this fight. Katie Taylor against Amanda Serrano got rocked several times in that fight. You brought up Amanda Serrano to fight you at your comfortable weight class. Here it is again. She's coming up to your weight class again. So Amanda Serrano's going to have more power for this fight. And Katie Taylor's got to make the adjustments defensively, because she cannot afford to be rocked several times like she did in the first fight. At one point in the fight, in the 5th round, she got hit with a total of 44 punches in the 5th round. And in women's boxing, they're 2-minute rounds, not 3, 2-minute rounds. So for you to get hit with a total of 44 punches in 2 minutes, that is alarming to me defensively. So she's got to be alert defensively. And I know she finished the fight strong, and she ended up winning the fight, responding well as a champion. But you cannot afford to be hit a total of 44 times in this fight. So she's got to clean up her flaws that she did offensively. And that, last but not least, I think Katie Taylor's got to take Amanda Serrano into the deep waters and drown her. Now, Amanda Serrano did fade away. Amanda Serrano did fade away to the judges in the later rounds, in the championship rounds. And I think Amanda Serrano tired herself out and went on cruise control to finish the 8th, 9th, and 10th rounds of that fight. And I think that's the reason why Katie Taylor won the later rounds. Like I just said, I scored the fight 5-5, but I will say the 8th, 9th, and the 10th round, I had all 3 of those rounds in favor of Katie Taylor, which I think that helped her win the fight for the judges' sake. So, and then she even cut open Amanda Serrano in the 9th and 10th round. So I think with Katie Taylor taking Amanda Serrano to the deep waters again, her winning the championship rounds, that can be the difference maker of Katie Taylor escaping possibly with another split decision victory for this fight. Now, starting off with Amanda Serrano, I think Amanda Serrano is going to have to walk down Katie Taylor and create pressure. She's going to have to fight, bring the fight coming to her, fighting coming forward. She had a lot of success doing that in the first fight, controlling the pace of the fight, making Katie Taylor fight off her back foot. If Amanda Serrano could do that, control the pace of the fight, walking, coming forward, she has a good chance of winning this fight. Now, next, Amanda Serrano is going to have to use the jab. The jab is one of the best arsenals, one of the best things in Amanda Serrano's toolbox. She used the jab coming forward, using the jab, landing it right down the middle. When Katie Taylor comes in, boom, slipped in that jab, hit Katie Taylor with the jab. When Amanda Serrano did that, she had a lot of success with Katie Taylor, making a lot of mistakes defensively, and even busted up Katie Taylor with the jab above either the right or left eyebrow during that fight. So I think that's going to be a lot. She could have a lot of success doing that. She could do that against Katie Taylor. And last but not least, I think Amanda Serrano's got to go to the body, slow her down, and she did that a lot. And I'm so, when I'm talking about this with you guys, I'm so surprised that Katie Taylor even finished the fight, because the success that Amanda Serrano was having, going upstairs, downstairs, really to the body, that slowed down Katie Taylor offensively and wore her out in the first fight. She took a lot of punishment. So with Amanda Serrano opening up the game plan, going to the body, that could be open up Amanda Serrano to be very selective, delivering the hooks to the head and the body like she did in the first fight. And I think if she follows all 3 of those game plans, she has a chance of winning this highly anticipated rematch. But with that being said, I'm going to go with Amanda Serrano to defeat Katie Taylor by split decision, become the new undisputed super lightweight champion in the sport of boxing. I think Amanda Serrano is going to make history and become the 6th boxer, male or female in boxing history, to become a 2-time undisputed champion in 2 different weight classes. Now, I think this is going to be the best fight on the entire Jake Paul and Mike Tyson card. Honestly, this should be the main event, this highly anticipated rematch between Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor. But I believe that Amanda Serrano is going to learn from her small mistakes that she had in the first fight against Katie Taylor. I think she's going to capitalize on those small mistakes and not fade away in the championship rounds like she did in the first fight. The 8th, 9th, and 10th rounds, I think she went on cruise control, got very complacent, and that's when Katie Taylor opened the door and won those later rounds, the championship rounds, and that helped her escape with a split decision victory. But I think Amanda Serrano is going to learn from that. She's going to establish the power early, use the stiff jab to control the pace of the fight. I think Amanda Serrano is going to bring the fight to Katie Taylor, walk her down, make Katie Taylor box off her back foot like she did in the first fight. And I think Amanda Serrano is going to be very selective with her punches, going upstairs, downstairs, landing hooks to the head and to the body that can slow down the pace of Katie Taylor's offense. And I think Amanda Serrano is going to have a big night, winning this highly anticipated rematch by split decision against Katie Taylor. But that is my Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor fight prediction.